So basically, this is a webinar. We are known as, from a family called Ashraya Shillong. Welcome, guys, everybody, to this Doing Life Together. Some of you have joined us for the first time. Some of you are very regular. We meet every Thursday doing life together. So we thought, like, even in such a time as this, let's continue to encourage one another. So welcome, guys. Welcome those guys who've joined us for the first time. It's a pleasure having you here in our midst. So today's topic that we're covering on is something very, very vital. And, the series is on mental health. We will be meeting every Thursday at 6 p.m. and, for an hour, try to take on different topics. So today's topic would be building your mental strength. In such a time as this, it's so important for us to build in our mental strength. Many of us talked a lot about physical strength. We give a lot of stress on physical strength. We work out in the gym, we go for a run, we eat healthy food, and so on and so forth. However, we have completely ignored, many of us, in fact, have completely ignored the mental health. But in such a time as this, it's not just the mental health, just the physical health that counts, but then even mental health counts as well. So as we talk on mental health, let me just check if you guys understand what is mental health. So let me just conduct a poll and see if you guys can answer me. Okay, so right now the poll is not getting active, but nonetheless, so let's dive in now and check out what is mental health. Maybe you have your own definitions of mental health. Maybe you're not aware. That's the reason you're here. But then let's see what is mental health. So I thought before I kickstart mental health, I have shared a short video in the social media. Some of you have got it, but for the sake of those who have not got it, maybe you can watch this video for a clearer understanding on what is mental health. So I'm going to share you a short video. So the short video says something about mental health. It's basically three components. You see, it's all about the way we think, the way we feel, and the way we behave. So, let's see these in details, that mental health is all about thinking, feeling, and behave. And today, my major focus would be on building your mental strength. As we build on the mental strength, we're going to cover 3 M's that are very, very vital in building your mental strength. Okay. I'm not getting that chat. If you want, you can unmute yourself anytime you want to ask me a question. All right. And then you can mute yourself. Okay. So we're going to cover 3 M's to build your mental strength. So when we talk about building your mental strength, the first thing, as you see, it's all about thinking, feeling, and behaving. That's what mental strength is all about. So today we're going to first see on our thinking, and then, because the first M on thinking is we got to master our thoughts. Because, our thought is the one that runs haywire. Our thought is something that if you don't take good care of your thoughts can go haywire. So let's see the first M on master your thought. When we talk about master your thought, These are the stats that I have got from the National Science Foundation research that says something about our thoughts. And it says that, run about on an average 15 around 12 to 50,000 thoughts we have daily. I mean, that's quite a lot of thoughts, quite a number of thoughts when you talk about 12 to 50,000. But the sad bit is that, around 80% of our thoughts are negative. That's really sad, and that most of the thoughts that we think on an average subconsciously are 80s on the very, very high side. And that's the reason, when we talk about mental health, our thought takes a very, very important role. It's right there, to really as a priority, to really check in as a priority, to check out, about our thought. So I'm going to cover that, even when we dwell on our thoughts, we it can be different determinants or variables that impact our thoughts. But then I thought, let me just cover from personality or from our behavior point of view, that when we talk about our thoughts, I'll name these guys. One of the person that we find is called the ruminator. I've named that person as the ruminator. So you check out if you are a ruminator as far as your thoughts are concerned. A ruminator is a person who dwells in the past. A ruminator is a person who, focus in the past, and then really that past, experiences, this past things, the history, their history can really, really impact their lives. And I want to encourage you guys, when you master your thought, live a life of no regrets. Don't look at your past. If you're reminded of your past, you replace it and see towards your future. I like the saying that goes something like this: if the devil reminds you of your past, you remind him of his future. Because when you live in the past, you tend to regret. I regret if looking at my previous past exams that I've sat, maybe class 10, class 12. I would love to get an opportunity to redo. And maybe there are so many instances in my life and the decisions that I've made, I wouldn't mind to get back and redo certain things, rewire certain things. But then, as they say, the past is history. Why do we bother? So live a life of no regrets. That's very important as you master your thought. Because, okay, we have a past. All of us have a past. We are to learn from the past, no doubt, but not to live in it. We are not there to live in our past. The next type of person that we know is what I call them the warrior. People who only worries in life. So the major worry that I notice is all about the future. And worry comes because we have fear of the future, or in other words, it's like you're having a chronophobia, fear of the future, what will happen. And those are people who live what I call it in the what if syndrome. We should have no fear of the future, but don't dwell in what if I don't get a job, what if the lockdown doesn't end, what if I don't get to sit in for my exams, what if I don't get a good income next year, what about my future. So what if we keep asking this what if, and we become a warrior. Not a warrior, but a warrior. You're not a fighter, you're not a warrior, but you are a warrior. Thinking a lot about the future. You got to master your thoughts, because there's a saying by Alexander Graham Bell, and he said it rightly. He said, "Oh, when one door closes, another door opens." You see, and the moment we focus on the closed door, we miss out the open doors that is in front of us. So I want to encourage you that don't be a rumanizer, don't be the warrior, because The thoughts will capture you, and 80% of negativity will creep in, and that will dampen your mental health. So we're going to see now the third person. The third person is the scaler. No, the word itself says something to us. A scaler is always a person who likes to compare, always in comparison and pointing their hands towards someone else, always making this unhealthy comparison. So, no healthy comparison, folks, because that can affect your mental health. You cannot master your health when you go on as a scaler, scaling things. I want to be like that person. I you see about this person, that person. Remember, you are a unique individual. You have your own unique path. Focus on your unique path, because that is where you got to master your thoughts, that you are a unique individual. I wish I can stress more on your uniqueness, but as of now, remember that you are a unique individual. You don't have to compare with anyone else. You are the original, because the moment you start comparing, you belittle yourself. So there should be no comparison. The fourth person that we have is what we call as the pointer. The pointer always try to find out or blame it to someone else. Keep playing this blame game. So no blame game, guys, because blaming others is very easy, and it can be very, very toxic. So we don't play a blame game, because the moment we play a blame game, shifting it to someone else and blaming it to situation, blaming it to circumstances, blaming it to, it can be, it does not have to be an individual. We can blame it to situations and circumstances, this is true. Not everything is in our control. But then playing a blame game will dampen the wellness of our thought. So the person can be the pointer, and then that can be very, very bad as well, because you have to understand that in whichever situation that you're in, be brave, take responsibility for your own choices. You don't have to shy away, you don't have to run away. So remember, these are how you master your thoughts. You cannot be just a pointer or warrior, a person who keep blaming others, in a scaler, or a person who lives in the past, a ruminizer. Okay, so that's the first M that we need. We need to master our thoughts. You need to master your thoughts to be, in a good mental health. That will build your mental strength. So the first key to building your mental strength is master your thoughts. And I like this to read this out, because it's so important right away. Whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. You see, guys, you compare when when you have a thought, compare whether it's true, honorable, just, pure, lovely, commendable, excellence, worthy of praise. If it does not fall under this category, just press the delete button and let it go into the waste bin. Okay, don't send it to your recycle bins, it's going to come back, but send it to your waste bin, and ensure that you get that out from your thoughts, of out from your life, because this is how we master our thoughts, by learning to align our thought into something that is true. If you are checking whether your thoughts are good or not, this is the best parameter. Check whatever is true, honorable, just, pure, lovely, commendable, and which is of excellence and worthy of praise. So the first M is master your thoughts. And if you learn to master your thought, is an art. It got to be progressive. It's not a overnight thing. And you understand that on an average, 80% of our thoughts are negative, and thousands of thoughts comes every day, even as we sleep. the moment we get up. So it's going to take some time, but then, as you take care of your thought, as you become the master of your thought, then you start developing and strengthening and building your mental strength, because you are not your thoughts. So your thoughts should not control you, and you have absolute control on your thoughts. So I hope you've understood the first, or grasped the first M. Let's see on the second M. As the definition says about mental health, is your thoughts, the way you think. But then the second one is the way you feel. The way you feel can impact your mental strength. So it's very, very important the way you feel. We're going to cover in one of the series, in this series rather, one of the topics would be on your emotions. How do you build your emotions for a good mental strength? But then it's very, very vital to have a merry mood. Merry mood is to be happy, to be joyful, to be cheerful. These are the words that we can think of when we talk about being merry. It's very important. And I challenge myself as well, because it's a really tough ask to be merry all the time, to be joyful all the time, to celebrate life all the time. And but then I got to do this. I got to make an effort to have a merry mood. So what's this merry mood? You see, it says that a merry heart does good. It's like medicines. In another word, it says a joyful heart does good. It's like medicine. Now, when we talk about good medicines to our mind, good medicines to our mental health, it's merry heart. It's a great vitamin for having a great mental health. And it you see, a merry heart will be seen right in your face. If your expressions can be seen. There's you're saying in the Proverbs that a joyful heart makes a cheerful face, because your face becomes the window of your heart. When your face or your expressions, you can make out whether you're joyful or not. And that's the reason, we got to have a merry mood. It's a good vitamins for having a good mental health. Now, as we talk about joyful heart, as we talk about having a merry mood, even medically, they have come across some findings, and they found out that a joyful person strengthened his cardiovascular system, his arteries, and so on. Various components of the heart get strengthened. And that's why we have this famous saying, laughter is a great medicine. I won't just use the word good medicines, because it strengthens your cardiovascular system. It increases the beneficial endothelial function. That means, there is a great control in your blood pressure. That's what I wanted to take seriously, because I have the blood pressure issue. And I realize, of course, my wife keeps telling me that being merry is one key factor that can really, really control your blood pressure. And it is proven that a joyful heart actually controls your blood pressure. Many of us, are concerned about blood pressure, but then, as the proverb says in the Holy Bible, let's just have a joyful heart. It's a great medicine, and we've never thought on those lines. A joyful heart also has a strong, effect on your nervous system. It works automatically in your nervous system. It builds your immune system. Now everybody talks in such, in this pandemic, that you got to have good immune system. Your immunity has to be strong. But then, it's just simple practice. Let's have a joyful heart. Let's have a cheerful face. That connects to our heart, and it strengthens our immune system. And of course, there's another one that says it also increase the beneficial of growth hormones. I think this is a very important. I think if the ladies are here, some of you, In fact, women as well. They say that when there is your growth hormones are healthy, you look younger. We're talking about these anti-aging creams, and people can go to any level, to look younger, spend a lot of money to look younger. But the basic is just have a cheerful and a joyful heart, because it builds up your growth hormones. And this is one of the best, in fact, the best anti-aging remedy, guys. Okay. And this, of course, is based on some research that, medical science has done, and has come up with a conclusion that a joyful heart has so many benefits. And a merry mood, the second M, is another key M that builds your mental strength. There's a guy, a person from the Bible. His name was Nehemiah, and he was so joyful in spite of working so hard. He had a very big project to cover, had to manage a big group. But then, the secret of his success was, he said that I have the joy of God. So the joy of the Lord, he said, is my strength. So that's the second M, is that we got to be merry and cheerful and joyful. The third M that we're talking about in building your mental strength is to have a mindful behavior. The first M uh, is to master your thought. The second M, again, is to have a merry mood. And the third M is to have a mindful behavior. I mean, when we talk about mindful behavior, it's all about being mindfulness. This word is can be misunderstood. So what is mindfulness? To get going, I'm going to share with you guys a short video that kind of defines mindfulness, whether it's intentional or attentional, and where that's you balance this. So watch this video to understand what is mindfulness, and we're gonna.
Intention, that we then can place our attention on a particular experience. And when we first begin, placing the attention on our body or our breath is extremely supportive, because the body and the breath are always in the present moment. And with this intention to place our attention with our body or breath, we start to develop a feedback loop where the intention supports the attention, and our continuing attention keeps the intention going. So that's when we can experience those moments of feeling really present, of being mindful. Now, it'd be great if this is where the story ended, but we all know there are moments where we take a detour, where there's a distraction. We get lost in a feeling, a thought, or a sensation that arises and pulls us into the experience. And we can not recognize that we're lost in the experience rather than being aware of the experience. Fortunately, at some point, we'll wake up. And when we wake up, this is where we can start to notice the next component, which is the attitude. And if our attitude in the moment of waking up is one of self-judgment, self-criticism, then that will pull us back into being lost. But if we can cultivate this attitude of non-judging, of acceptance, of self-kindness, patience, understanding, then that's what will allow us to reconnect with our intention, this intention to be wakeful. And we do this by simply starting again without judgment right in this moment. And when we do that, starting again is in of itself a radical act of self-kindness. So we can see this entire process as a flow. So the skill is learning to cultivate this way of paying attention so that we can allow whatever is unfolding to unfold. We can think.
All right. So that is all about, so as we talk about what is mindfulness, basically, we the definitions of mindfulness is basically our ability to be fully present, aware of where we are and what we are doing. So it's about that alertness, the attention that we have. We're fully present. All right, we are aware of where we are and what we're doing, and not overly reactive or being overwhelmed by what's going on around us. All right, so that's being mindful. We our teachers saying be mindful of this, be mindful of that. And the other way that is defined by Cambridge Dictionary, it says that this word called mindfulness is the practice of being aware of your body, mind, and feeling in the present moment, thought to create a feeling of calm. So as we did see in detail of what is mindfulness, I think, for some of us, this word mindfulness is something new, or maybe I've heard it, but I really have not really dwell on it. And the third M that we need to have a healthy mind, and also to build our mental strength, is to be mindful, to have a mindful behavior. So you remember the definition of mental health is, number one is to have you have to check on your thinking, your feeling, and your behaving. So thinking, we have linked it to master your thought. Feeling is to be in a merry mood, and behaving is by being mindful. So to understand about mindful behavior, I personally, when I was dwelling, I got confused between having a mindful behavior and just any Eastern meditation where it teaches us just to keep emptying our mind and just relax. But being mindful is not about emptying a mind, but it's all about feeling good stuff on a mind, being alert, being responsive. So it's not, mindful behavior is not mind emptying like the Eastern meditation teaches us, but it's mind filling is what mindful behavior is all about. It's not about you just be in a certain position or in certain posture, like a lotus position, and they say empty, empty, remove your thoughts. So when we talk about mindfulness or a mindful behavior, it's not about thought removal. We're not removing our thoughts, as we started at the outset, around 12,000 to 50,000 on an average pops in. But then it's about replacing your thoughts. What would you do? That's why they say negative thoughts will come. But because you're mindful, you're replacing it with positive thoughts. There's a research done. They say that when you see a glass, whether you see half full or half empty, and the research was, they went to two patients were having the same issues, and to patient A, they went and said that there is 70% of your success. So he started to replace that the word successful, the operation will be successful 70%. And because he's replaced with this word successful, and that boosts up 70%. However, to the other person, they said you have 30% of failure. This guy was completely bogged out and bogged down and so on. See, it's very important that it's not just mindful. It's not about just removal of our thoughts, but it's about replacing it with some good thoughts and being alert and mindful of what's going around. Mindful behavior, again, is about being thoughtful and not thoughtless. I think this word thoughtful is when somebody comes and just give you a gift, or you you're in a cold place and somebody just brings a jacket to you, and the comment is, hey, you're so thoughtful. So thoughtful is you being alert of the present, understand the need, and then you respond it accordingly. So mindful behavior is not about emptying your mind but filling your mind. It's not about thought removal, but it's all about replacement. It's not just about being thoughtful, or it's about being thoughtful and not being thoughtless. So, a mindful behavior, my friend, is exposing our mind to truths that brings fruits and satisfies our characters. It brings in not just being mindful, but then there is a transformation in our lives. We can see it's not just a modification, all right? But when we are mindful, it brings in transformation. So, that's having a mindful behavior. And this is some research and stats, okay, about mindful behavior, how mindfulness can help you. So you see on the right side on various research and paper presented, but they say mindfulness can help you regulate and express your emotions. Mindfulness can help you develop and utilize better coping strategies. It can be less easily distracted on non-task activities. It'll help you sleep better. Okay, mindfulness can help you practice self compassion, and mindfulness can help you potentially build resilience. So, I mean, there are a lot of takeaways and a lot of benefits. If I know there is a tablet that has a lot of benefits, to my mental health, I'm gonna invest on that medicine. And just being mindful is such a wonderful medicine that boosts mental health. So that's something that I thought of just introducing you all on this series called Mental Health. So basically, today, I just want to encourage you to understand that it's a right to be in a mental state of mind. It's a right to have good mental health. And we just, started with the definition of what is mental health. It's all about how you take care of your thinking, your feeling, and your behaving. And we covered three M's to support on to this definition. For our thinking, we said the first M is master our thoughts. We need to master our thoughts. We need to create more positivity rather than dwelling more on negativity. Sometimes we don't realize, but most of the time on our conversations, on our thinking, a lot of negativities. When we meet friends, when we talk, when we chat, negativity. So you remember, you can't dwell on the past. We are not afraid of the future. We just don't play a blame game, and we just don't keep comparing, because that can become so unhealthy as far as a mind is concerned. The second is all about a feeling. We got to have a merry mood. And what we mean by merry mood is to be joyful and cheerful. And we've seen that even, medically, it's proven and tested that what a wonderful vitamins it is for our mental health when we are joyful. it boosts up the entire system. So that's the second M. And the third M that we covered today is all about having a mindful behavior. So to be mindfulness of things around, to be aware, alert, to be attentive and respond to it. So today is just the introduction of what mental health is all about. We're going to continue this series for quite some time. And this month, in fact, and the following month, we're going to dwell on this. So next week, same time, same place, we're going to focus on one of the key factors of mental health and how do we tackle that, and that is on stress, of course. Well, it's going to be for you guys who are already there, um, it's going to be at 6 o'clock next Thursday. But we will keep updating you. I'm sure, I think we're going to use the same meeting ID and password. If there's any changes, Larry, you can let me know. So just to let you know that we are Ashraya Shillong, and every Thursday we do live together. We meet in Malki, but because of this lockdown, we've decided to meet virtual. So you